In this video, I wanted to look in a bit more detail at our very substantial new volume, Achieving Sustainable Management of Boreal and Temperate Forests. And you'll be pleased to know it's produced from using sustainable sources, so we didn't lose a forest in publishing it in the first place. And it's edited by Professor John Stanturf, who's former senior scientist with the US Forest Service, adjunct professor of forestry at both urban universities, the University of Mississippi, and a visiting professor at the Estonian University of Life Sciences. Part 1 looks at latest research on tree physiology. Part 2 looks at ecosystem services provided by forests. Part 3 looks at advances in breeding and sustainable forest management. Part 4 looks at threats from pest diseases and natural hazards, while Part 5 looks at improving products and services. Well, to give you an idea of the riches that are contained in this mighty volume, I wanted to pick out a couple of chapters. Firstly, chapter 8 on the impact of climate change on forest systems, which is written by a team from the USDA's Forest Service, the National Institute of Applied Climate Science, Michigan Technological University and Ohio State University, led by Keith Moser. This chapter reviews ways of projecting mid- and long-term climate change impacts on trees and forests, and it also looks at projecting potential demographic and economic changes and what this means for sustainable forest management. The other chapter I wanted to pick out, which is very much related to the first, is chapter 18 on advances in managing and monitoring natural hazards and forest disturbances. And this is written by a team from the University of Minnesota in the USA, Universidad Austral de Chile, and the University of Helsinki, Finland, and is led by the editor himself. And the chapter describes ways of assessing natural disturbances affecting forests, and it looks at ways of assessing ecosystem resilience, monitoring forest health, and developing early warning systems to predict the kind of natural disasters which obviously are linked now to climate change in particular. Well, I'll conclude, if I may, by quoting Chad Oliver, who's the Pinchot Professor of Forestry and Director of the Global Institute of Sustainable Forestry at Yale University. And he's been kind enough to say, Dr. Stanturf has once again assembled an excellent international group of scientists to compile an in-depth volume. The subjects to be covered and the experts chosen mean the book will be used to understand the many building blocks of sustainable forest management. Well, when you're contemplating the volume of research, I'm sure you sometimes feel you can't see the wood for the trees. Well, this is your guide through the forest. We think it will become a standard reference that you will want in your collection.